أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وبشر الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أن لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار كلما رزقوا منها من ثمرة رزقا قالوا هذا الذي رزقنا من قبل وأتوا به متشابها ولهم فيها أزواج مطهرة وهم فيها خالدون. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, dear brothers and sisters. Welcome to the very first episode of the Path to Jannah podcast. I am Ash-Sha'iratul Layl, founder of Quranic Qibla, and I am honored to begin this journey with you. Today, we explore the first step towards paradise, Salah. For many of us, prayer is not merely a ritual, it's a transformative conversation with our Creator. In these sacred moments, every bow, every prostration brings us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and cleanses our hearts from the burdens of this world. Take a moment now to leave behind the distractions of the dunya. Let your heart open to the possibility that each prayer is a unique opportunity, a chance to reconnect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, reset your inner world, and prepare for the eternal bliss of Jannah.
I am Qamar and I'm truly grateful to be here alongside Layl and Hakima. Salah is a heartbeat of our faith. It is a moment of each day when our souls find a sanctuary, a chance to pause, reflect, and realign with our purpose. Even in the midst of life's chaos, our prayer is that steady anchor, drawing us back to the mercy and guidance of Allah. Today, we remind ourselves that each act of worship is more than a duty. It is a profound investment in our future in the hereafter.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. I am Hakima and I joined Layl and Qamar in celebrating the beauty of Salah. Alhamdulillah. For me, prayer personally is a journey, a moment of deep connection and tranquility with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is, when I step away from the rush of life and enter into a sacred conversation with my Lord. Today, inshallah, we will explore how every movement in our prayer is not only a physical act, but also a reflection of our inner submission, a moment to truly feel the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakumullah khairan. Both you and Qalb, mashallah, I'm really happy to have you two as my co-hosts for this new podcast, Path to Jannah. Once again, welcome to the first episode, and let's begin by delving into the divine origin and profound significance of Salah. From the earliest days of Islam, prayer has been established as the pillar that sustains our connection with Allah. Not Hajj, not Shahada, not fasting. It is prayer. Reflect on the miraculous events of Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj, a night when our beloved Prophet ﷺ was taken on a journey beyond the limits of time and space, where he received the command to establish prayer. Initially, the decree was for 50 prayers a day. Imagine 50 prayers a day, and later reduced to 5 as a mercy among us, reminding us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cares for our human nature and desires and sincere devotion rather than just endless ritualism. This act of divine mercy is not just simply a reduction in quantity, it's a deep lesson in the balance and moderation intended in our worship. Each prayer, that we perform is imbued with a reward of far more. And in every recitation and in every posture that we make, we are investing in our eternal future. Our daily acts of worship are a promise, a gateway to the gardens described in the Quran, where blessings flow like rivers.
There is incredible wisdom in the fascinating story of the Isra wal Mi'raj that you and I and everyone can learn from. It teaches us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not impose on us an impossible burden for us to carry. Instead, He provides us with a way to connect with Him that is both meaningful and deeply rewarding at the same time. Every time we bow in prayer, we are reminded of His infinite mercy, and each moment of sincere worship reinforces the very sound foundation of our faith. When we understand that every movement in Salah is designed to guide us towards a higher state of mindfulness and closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our routine prayer becomes a cherished act of renewal instead of a daily burden.
And consider the inherent beauty in the physical structure of Salah. Each posture, standing, ruku', sujood, and sitting, it's a mirror of our inner journey. In ruku', we let our pride go and, lower ourselves into humility. In sujood, where our forehead touches the ground, we express our complete submission and vulnerability. This beautiful worship is designed to cleanse our hearts and realign our spirit with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we perform our prayers with heartfelt mindfulness and, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we transform what might seem like a daily obligation into something, we enjoy and a spiritual experience to connect with our Lord.
Definitely, mashallah. And salah is often described as the cooling of the heart. It's a practice that soothes the mind and mends the soul. When we fully immerse ourselves in prayer, our inner turmoil and stress of this hard life begins to subside and is replaced, subhanAllah, by a deep sense of tranquility, connection, and quietness that we all need in our busy lives. The true essence of salah doesn't lie in just the mechanical recitation of Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, but in the sincere intention behind each act of worship. When our hearts are open and our minds are focused, and we are actually trying our best to experience khushu' in our salah, each prayer suddenly becomes a dialogue with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a dialogue with a person that you, as if it's having a dialogue with someone that you missed so much, and it's a moment to seek guidance, forgiveness, and strength. And each day, as we recite our supplications and verses, we're not just performing a routine, just something to check off our checklist. We are engaging in an intimate conversation that rejuvenates our spirit and fortifies our resolve. This approach to salah, this khushu', this wanting of the sweetness of salah, is what transforms it into a sanctuary, which the place where our hearts can find, peace and tranquility amidst the loudness and the busyness and the craziness of our daily lives.
I recall so many moments when the pressures of daily life left me feeling so overwhelmed, and my prayers had become rushed and almost automatic, something to just check off my daily checklist as well. It was only when I began to reflect on the true meanings behind each recitation and behind each surah that I read, that I rediscovered the beauty of my connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and what such a gift salah is to the ummah. By slowing down and truly contemplating on the words I was reciting, I felt a profound shift, a renewal of my spirit that carried me through even the most challenging day. This realization reminds me that every moment of sincere prayer is a powerful act of renewal and an opportunity to establish our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
And just adding on to that, our experiences on salah are not just isolated rituals, not just idle movements. It's really connecting with your Lord and speaking to your Lord. And they're the very threads that weave the fabric of our lives. When we approach prayer with sincerity and mindfulness and doing it for the sake of Allah and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and just to mention, each of these 5 prayers every single day is time. It's not just, I have to do it. It's peaceful. It's a peaceful time in your day, and you should be looking forward to that. So when we approach each prayer with sincerity and mindfulness and looking forward to it, we unlock inner peace and strength. And in these sacred moments that our hearts truly speak to Allah, sharing our deepest fears, hopes, and gratitude, and actually talking to your Lord. This exchange of emotions and supplications transforms our daily prayer into a living and breathing conversation. It's a testament to our unwavering faith and our commitment to the path of Jannah.
Yes, I agree, mashallah. And now let's consider, how the practice of salah influences every facet of our lives. Beyond its just its spiritual dimensions, prayer is a holistic experience that nurtures also our bodies and our minds. When we engage in, the physical postures of salah, we're not just fulfilling a divine command, but also engaging in a form of actual exercise that can gently improve our overall well-being. The rhythmic movement of standing and then bowing and then standing and prostrating helps us, help build better blood circulation to help get to our brain and help us study better. It will help reduce stress, and it could even help mental clarity. And, imagine each prayer as that moment where you get to reset, a pause in the hectic pace of life that allows you to realign your thoughts and emotions. We all need that break sometimes. If we're in the middle of homework, if we're in the middle of a workspace and we have so much to do, we need that time to sit down and refresh our mind so that we can come back to it and be able to do our work to the best of our abilities. It's a daily opportunity, not a burden. It's an opportunity to step back, reflect, and find balance in a world that seems often chaotic. In embracing this perspective, Salah becomes much more than a religious duty. It transforms into a vital, almost, a practice that we need to maintain not just spiritual, but also physical and emotional health.
Our daily routines are filled with so many challenges and distractions that can easily pull us away from what truly matters in this dunya, to prepare for our akhirah. Yet when we dedicate even a few moments to sincere prayer, we create a space of calm amidst the storm. This intentional act of worship not only provides spiritual nourishment, but also builds a reservoir of inner strength that carries us through difficult times. The discipline and mindfulness cultivated during our salah extends far beyond the prayer mat. They become a way of life, shaping our interaction, shaping our life decisions, and overall outlook and perspective on the world and society.
And let us not forget the community aspect of salah. Whether in praying in congregation or individually, the act of worship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unites us as a community of believers. In congregational prayers, standing shoulder to shoulder with your fellow worshippers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your brothers and sisters of Islam, we are reminded of our shared purpose and collective and our journey to reach Jannah, inshallah. This unity fosters a sense of belonging and mutual support, and it reinforces the idea that our journey towards Jannah is one that we all are traveling towards together.
Jazakallah khairan, both of you. Now, we're going to be right back. We're just going to conclude this first segment. And before we do, I invite you to reflect upon what we just said on the profound significance of Salah. It's more than just a set of physical movements. It's a dynamic, transformative dialogue with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Each act of worship, when performed with sincerity and mindfulness, becomes a powerful step on the path to Jannah. Remember that every time you step onto your prayer mat, you are engaging in a sacred act that cleanses your heart, rejuvenates your spirit, and paves the way for a life filled with divine blessings.
Every prayer is an opportunity, a chance to reconnect with our Creator and renew our commitment to a life guided by faith or iman and gratitude. Let this reflection inspire you to approach each act of worship, each position in salah, with a renewed sense of purpose, and mindfulness, inshallah.
Inshallah, may this discussion renew and increase your passion for salah and remind you that every moment spent in sincere prayer brings you closer to the mercy and love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our journey towards Jannah begins with these small, heartfelt acts of devotion, and together, inshallah, they weave the tapestry of our eternal success, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah for this time together. In our next segment, we will continue to delve deeper into practical ways to cultivate mindfulness during Salah, explore personal experiences of transformation, and discover how to integrate these lessons into our daily lives. And we'll see you after this break. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless your efforts and guide your heart on this beautiful journey. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Do you want to make a difference? Do you want to educate others? Do you want to save fellow Muslims? Then join us at Quranic Qibla. Volunteering with us enhances Quranic knowledge and spiritual growth as a means of guidance. Simultaneously, we raise funds with the money we receive from donations for the less fortunate around the globe. And we would like you to volunteer. You can create sadaqah jariyah for yourself. You can foster a love of the Quran for yourself and others. You can make everlasting differences on Muslim youth by joining our team. If you would like to volunteer, click on the link in the description, which will lead you to the volunteer form. Answer all questions mentioned. In a few days, we will interview you for the positions you are open to. Afterwards, we will email you if you are accepted into our team in 2 to 4 days. We can't wait. See you soon, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear listeners. Welcome back. In segment 1, we lay the foundation by discussing the divine origins of Salah and its transformative nature. Today, we will shift our focus to practical steps for cultivating mindfulness in our prayer and carrying that inner peace into every facet of our lives. We all know that the challenge isn't always about finding the time for Salah. I know sometimes it could be, sometimes I'm too busy, I have class and I don't have time to pray or just can't find that time. But a lot of the other times, it's mostly about being truly present and having that khushu' while doing it. How many times have we just recited our prayers on autopilot? Recited Surah Al-Fatiha and just went to Surah Al-Ikhlas, for example, and just did that for the same rak'ah over and over because we had no idea, So let's explore, inshallah, today ways to bring our full attention and sincere devotion back into our worship.
Before stepping onto the prayer mat, it's necessary to create a quiet moment to prepare both your heart and your mind, and also your soul. So I would recommend taking a few deep, intentional breaths. This is for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and letting go of the chaos of the day, forgetting all of that, and just putting yourself in a state of peace. So, when you do this, it kind of sets your mind for salah, that you're doing this for the sake of Allah and trying to make this an enjoyable moment. So, even a minute of silent reflection can transform your mindset, shifting you from the demands of, a daily life to a state of focus and calm worship. So, another recommendation is to set aside a designated clean space for your prayer if you can. You can make a little, place for you to pray just for yourself, like little cozy place, maybe even for qiyam, so that, you're looking forward to pray. A peaceful environment that not only minimizes the distractions, but also reinforces the sacredness of the moment. This preparation acts like a mental reset, I guess you could say, inviting calm and gratitude into your heart before you begin your prayer with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, mashallah. Having a clean environment and tranquil environment without any distractions is definitely a very important part of your salah to maintain, to maintain focus and to remain tranquility during the salah, to pay attention and truly understand what you are reading in the salah. Creating a routine that signals the start of your prayer can be really transformative. Perhaps start by quickly acknowledging any worries or stress, then consciously choosing to leave them behind as you prepare to connect with your Creator and letting them go. This simple act of mental and emotional cleansing is the first step toward turning your prayer into a genuine conversation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yes, it sure is. Now, inshallah, let's break down the different stages of salah and how we can infuse each with mindfulness and heartfelt recitation. A. The standing position, or qiyam. Standing for prayer is not just a physical stance. It's the moment when you begin your sacred conversation. As you recite the verses, especially the opening chapter, Surah Al-Fatiha, what you can do is you can pause to internalize the meaning of each word. Every time you finish an ayah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, what does that mean? Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, what does that mean? How can I apply that to my life? Reflect on how you can apply those words and how they speak to your life today. Let the recitation be more than just a memorized routine. Allow it to resonate with the emotions and thoughts in your heart.
Okay, mashallah, point A mentioned. Now just moving on to point B, it's ruku'. So just like to start this off, during qiyam, you should slow down and, truly feel each syllable and reflect on that, as they said, and visualize the words and let them fill your mind with a sense of awe and gratitude. This practice transforms what might be an automatic recitation into a deep, personal exchange with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, this is ruku'. So, as you transition into ruku', you should lower yourself in humility. And, this position kind of symbolizes the shedding of, the worldly burdens. So, when you say, Subhanallah Rabbil Alim, let each word be a release of stress and pride. Humble yourself. And, imagine your worries melting away as you bow, leaving behind the weight of, the chaotic day.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, Hakima. The importance of the ruku'ah and the sajda is really significant, as when you do these positions, your previous sins are consistently removed from your body. And just like Leil said, when I memorized the English meaning of Surah Al-Fatiha, I was enamored by the true meaning that I did not know previously before. We were always told to just memorize, but we never truly understood the true meaning. So upon learning and memorizing the meaning in the language you understand, that helps you immerse yourself in the salah more, inshallah. We should take this opportunity to silently ask for strength and guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The physical acts of bowing becomes a metaphor for surrendering to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, an acknowledgement that you depend on Allah's mercy alone to lighten your load. This moment of submission is not just an external act. It's a powerful internal reset.
During sujood, you should allow yourself to to speak freely with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you should use these moments to express your innermost thoughts and longings. So like, Allah understands everything that you're saying. Like, you can just sit there and sujood and you can just be crying and you don't have to say anything, and Allah will know what you mean. So, you're in a state of complete humility and vulnerability, and you're at a state of peace. Like, subhanAllah, Allah does not even need to have you speak to Him to know what you mean. You can just sit there and Allah will know all of your words. So this is the time to pour out everything, pour out your heart in dua with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sharing your deepest fears, hopes, and gratitude that you would not share with anyone else, and just pour all of your worries out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and trust that He will take care of that, inshallah ta'ala. So this is just summarizing what Qamar said. So the next one is the sitting position at and tashahhud. So the brief pause in sitting between the two prostrations is an ideal time for reflection. So, you can use this moment to collect your thoughts and reinforce your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as you recite the tashahhud, let it serve as a reaffirmation of your faith and gratitude for the countless blessings that Allah gave you in your life.
Consider closing your eyes for a few seconds during sit. This brief silence can help you internalize the significance of your recitations, making the prayer a continuous and seamless conversation with your Creator, where you truly express all of the things that have been happening in your life.
For sure. To integrate, mindfulness into your daily lives, we have to take into account that, the transformative power of salah, you can't get that by just doing the movements. It's actually reflecting upon it. So I really loved, what you guys said. Its benefits can ripple throughout our entire day. So now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you guys all a few practical strategies that carry mindfulness into your everyday living. Number 1, set daily intentions. Begin each day with a clear intention related to your worship. Set a niyyah. Whether it is a commitment to be more patient or to maintain focus in salah, just setting the intention can help ground your actions throughout the day, giving benefit of salah throughout the entire day. Number 2, practicing regular dhikr. Beyond just formal prayer, incorporate short moments of remembrance into your routine. A simple phrase like Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, whispered during a break, or whenever before you take a sip, you can help recenter your thoughts and reinforce your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. 3, journaling. Just journaling your spiritual journey, you can help note down, any insights that you have or reflections that you've had after every prayer. Over time, these entries, you will love to look back at them, and they will serve as a powerful reminder of your growth and your deepening of your awareness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's presence in your life. Number 4, mindful moments throughout the day. Use everyday activities as opportunities to practice this, whether it's eating, walking, or even driving. A pause to acknowledge Allah's blessings. These small acts of awareness can be a continuous thread of, spiritual presence throughout your day. Number 5, engaging with your community. Share your experiences with, friends, family, or online groups. Discussing your challenges and breakthroughs can provide encouragement and foster a sense of shared purpose, reinforcing your commitment to mindful worship.
Jazakumullah khairan. Yeah, I really agree with those. And just to add on to that, I have 3 points to kind of address some of the common challenges that we all face in maintaining mindfulness during salah and how to overcome them. So there's 3. So the first one is distractions and wandering thoughts. So this is probably the most, hardest one for me. Because, like, you might be thinking in your salah, oh, I forgot to hide my chocolate. It's not in the pantry. It's on the island. Is my sister going to take that? Or, oh, I have my meeting in 20 minutes. I have to meet with my friend. I'm so excited to meet that. So it's really natural for the mind to wander. So, when you notice your thoughts drifting, just gently guide them back by, refocusing on the meaning of your recitations or by taking a few deep breaths in salah. And the second one is kind of like if you're experiencing strong emotions or stress, you should view your prayer as, a kind of a time to calm down. So you should allow yourself to be vulnerable in your dua, sharing your feelings in honesty with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this practice can be incredibly, helpful and help release built up tension and stress. And then, so that was 2. Number 3 is, it's probably also one of the most common ones, is just reciting like a robot. Like you're just saying it like robotically, and you don't know what you're reciting. So if your prayer feels that you're not even like reflecting on what you're reciting, you should kind of take time to study the meanings of the verses and supplications that you recite. Like, for example, you could have a reason for reciting Surah Al-Ikhlas. It's Tawheed, it's the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not just, because it's a really short surah and I want to get through my prayer fast. No, you should actually reflect on the meaning of that surah so that you can actually have all the benefits of that surah in your salah. So, deepening your understanding can transform your salah from, just an action that you do by habit, but you can change that into, a heartfelt conversation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah, definitely, especially since Ramadan is coming up. Learning the tafsir of different surahs and the meaning of the different surahs in the prayer is going to be really important. And as a reminder, as Ramadan is coming in 2 weeks now, subhanAllah, in Ramadan, our rewards are multiplied by 70 times, subhanAllah. So imagine if we learned the tafsir and the different surahs and learned and recite different surahs, imagine how many rewards we'll get.
Yes,
Finally,
subhanAllah.
Yeah, remember, finally, mindfulness is a skill that develops over time. It's not something you can just develop overnight or in the snap of a finger. Be patient with yourself and celebrate small successes along the way. Every effort to remain present in your prayer is a step towards more meaningful connection and conversation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Subhanallah, subhanallah. Yeah, and especially since, Ramadan is coming. And by the way, Ramadan Mubarak to everybody. We just have to take into account, every mindful act of worship is a step on the path to Jannah. Our daily prayers are not just, isolated rituals. They are interconnected moments that shape our spiritual destiny. The sincerity, the humility, and the mindfulness that we cultivate in Salah are the building blocks of our eternal success. As we, integrate these practices into our daily lives, remember that you're not the only one. You're not only nurturing your spiritual being, but you're also preparing for a life of, everlasting bliss. SubhanAllah.
Yeah, that's a really good point, mashallah. So, just one of my own reflections is, each prayer is an investment in your future. So when you approach your salah with a heart full of gratitude and sincerity, you kind of, I would say, set the stage for, divine blessings that extend far beyond this life. So all I have to say is, embrace every opportunity that you have to reconnect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or connect with Him even more, knowing that your efforts are, a very important part of your journey towards Jannah, inshallah ta'ala.
Yeah, mashallah, I truly agree on with you on that, Hakima. As you said, each prayer is an investment for your future. On this dunya, we often think about investing for our future, like if we're going to college or getting further education, inshallah, thinking financially. But that's just this dunya. When we die, none of that will stay. So we also not only have to think about that. Of course, that is important. However, we also need to think about our afterlife, because that's what's going to come and help you during the day of judgment. Your finances and your future plans for this dunya are not going to be there in the day of judgment. And finally, our journey is continuous, and every mindful moment of prayer strengthens our resolve to live a life of faith, compassion, and purpose. That purpose being serving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being a good servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and pleasing Him. And that is our purpose as creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let the remembrance of Allah fill your heart and soul, guiding you in every decision and every interaction throughout your day-to-day life, inshallah.
Jazakumullah khairan to both of you. Brothers and sisters, as we close this episode, take a moment to reflect on the beauty and the depth of mindful prayer. Each time you perform a salah with full concentrations and sincerity, you are drawing closer to Allah and paving your path to Jannah. Let this renewed mindfulness be a beacon that illuminates every aspect of your life and that infuses your day with peace, gratitude, and connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Every act of sincere worship is a precious step on your journey towards eternal bliss in Jannah, inshallah. May you always find strength in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and may our hearts be ever open to His guidance, inshallah.
Ameen, ameen. Inshallah, that these insights inspire you to make each prayer a moment of a connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you take as much as you can from it, and you have a real connection with your Lord, and you're actually speaking to Him. And inshallah, may your worship bring you peace and tranquility and an unwavering sense of purpose throughout your day.
Now, inshallah, let's just end with a dua. I will be reciting a quick dua in English, and then Hakima, inshallah, will be reciting our closing dua in Surah Al-Asr. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. O Allah, make our hearts ever mindful of you. Grant us the ability to approach our salah with sincerity, humility, and focus. Remove all distractions that hinder our spiritual growth and fill our lives with your light and mercy. Accept our prayers as a means of purification and renewal, and guide us steadily on the path to Jannah. Protect our ummah and bestow upon those in need your boundless compassion. And Ya Rabbi, free Palestine. Ameen.
Ameen.
Ameen. Oh, sorry. Jazakallah khairan to all of you for joining us in this in-depth exploration of mindful salah. May the practices we've shared today become a lasting part of your day-to-day life, drawing you ever closer to the mercy and love of Allah, inshallah.
Inshallah, and I'm good. I'm so sorry, I was muted. But inshallah, I'm going to be reciting the closing dua and Surah Al-Asr. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر.
Sadaqallahul Azim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen for this time together. Until our next episode, let every mindful act of worship guide you closer to the eternal promise of Jannah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.